So today is Monday, and the kids had their first day of school, and our school, we have to bring them the first day, and they do something called convocation. And so we are there, and they kind of do an intro to the school year, and then the kids head off to their class. So hopefully, now that kids are back in school, I'm going to try and work on a routine on Mondays that I sit down and do a devotion. So I'm going to read, I am reading a book or a devotion. It says Walk with God by Ty Green, and it's a 1-year devotional. And we're just going to start off with that right now. Praying an agenda. Balak's anger burned against Balaam. I summoned you to curse my enemies, but you have blessed them these 3 times. Numbers 24, verse 10. In the strange story of Balaam and Balak, Numbers 22 through 24, we read of a king who convinced that it must be the divine will to save his people. He summoned Balaam to pronounce a curse against Israel's coming horde. We marvel at Balak's inability to understand. Poor simpleton, he just doesn't get it. Blessing and cursing is not about his personal agenda. It's about God's. Balaam even tells him the rules up front, but Balak simply can't get it out of his head that if he pays enough, pleads enough, and promises enough honor, the sorcerer will be able to establish the divine will all by himself. Obviously, he can't. Balaam can only do what God tells him to do. Balak is an easy target for our contempt. What a fool! But aren't we often similar? Isn't this how we approach prayer? We try to persuade God to bless our own agenda. We come up with a plan in all confidence that it's surely God's will. We miss a crucial step in the process. The first item of business in any prayer request is not to ask God to defend our position, establish our plans, or fulfill any other aspect of our agenda. It's to ask Him what His agenda is. Balak's bullheadedness led to utter frustration. Are you utterly frustrated too? How often do you pray for the agenda without consulting God for His? Are you absolutely sure that what you are asking for is part of His plan? We don't have to know every aspect of God's will before praying, but we must pray with an understanding that His will, believe it or not, may contradict ours. We simply must forsake our assumptions and be open to that. Never be a Balak in disguise, using prayer as a sanitized form of sorcery. Use it to get yourself in line with a divine program. Then pray your heart out. Numbers 24, 10 through 14. You cannot alter the will of God, but the man of prayer can discover God's will. This is actually an incredibly applicable devotional for me this morning. I've actually had a lot thrown at me in the last few weeks of opportunities, things that honestly I'm capable of doing. But I don't know if I'm really being honest, if I've really consulted God for wisdom, and I know I don't have the answer right now. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, whether that's doing this YouTube channel. I have some different opportunities from jobs that I've had in the past that potentially I could be a consultant for some places, and my business itself, my wedding business, is doing well, and I'm busy. My kids are growing up, but still needing me to be present. We took on this acreage, which takes a lot of time and energy. But I have been feeling a stirring that I am supposed to be doing something. And I can't decide if the things that are being laid in front of me as options are things I'm supposed to say yes to so I can have some financial stability, or if the Lord is saying, you can do all of these things, but I need you to listen to me and say no. And quite often when I pray, it's, Lord, this is what I need. Lord, this is what I want. It's definitely my agenda. So just going back again, it says the first item of business in any prayer request is not to ask God to defend our position, establish our plans, or fulfill any other aspect of our agenda. And I feel like right now there's been some pretty big conflict in my life, and it has been incredibly frustrating, and I feel like I've been trying to be patient and forgiving in the process, but I want justice. If I'm being completely honest, I want justice for the wrongs that have been done, and I want the person who hurt me to admit that they were wrong. So yeah, I've been praying to defend my position of my rightness. And I have some pretty big dreams for this acreage, and I've been praying for financial blessings so we can do that. And I have been very frustrated, just like Balak lately, not understanding why we had a potential for huge financial blessing, huge, to the point where we've been able to really just add a lot of good things to this farm. Like we said, our dream is that we can bring it back up to par so that the next generation, the fifth generation, can live here and work it and raise kids out here. Living on the farm, that is one of the best things. And we had a lot of money that was on the table, and it's all gone. An offer was made, things got messed up, and that money was taken away. And we feel hurt by that process. But I also, right now, I don't understand why it was even put in front of us. Like, if I wouldn't have had that money sitting there, I don't think we would have been fine. But it's amazing how much you can dream of being financially well off. And if I was being completely honest, we weren't going to be wasteful and be crazy and spend it on fun things. We were really going to be wise with it. And so I don't understand. And so I am frustrated. Heard somewhere that God does not do stuff to us on this earth. I've heard people say, "Oh, God made this happen so that I could learn this." And I'm like, I'm not a theologian, but I don't think God makes things happen to us. I do believe He allows things to happen because He knows it will be good. It will be a blessing in the long run because He knows we'll learn and grow from it and be able to come out on the other side, being able to be a better light. And I guess at this point, I'm kind of getting tired and frustrated of going through this, and I want to be on the other side looking back and saying, this is why. But I will admit this, I'm praying for an agenda that I want, and I need to be praying for the Spirit to be present and that I can hear what God is asking me to let go of. but I do feel like there's something that I'm supposed to be sharing, and somewhere I'm not supposed. I was just talking with my mom the other day, and I have been put in a lot of positions over my life already where I'm walking into a hot mess. The job I take is a mess, and I can see with the weaknesses, I can see the struggles, I can see what's not working, and any potential risks. My brain just can see it, and I feel like I'm capable of equipping other people to fill that piece. And when I get to the point where things are running smoothly, it's almost like I'm like, okay, that's all I was supposed to do. That's my job, was to take it from the ugly and turn it into something productive. My husband jokes, well, he must be a piece of work because I keep sticking with him. But I do truly believe I am a seed planter. I'm a person who cleans up the soil, pulls the weeds, fertilizes the soil, and waits the optimal time to start planting. But it seems like so often I plant the seeds and it just starts to grow and thrive, and it gets taken away from me, or it's time for me to let it go. And it used to really bother me to the point where I would be very angry and hurt and frustrated. But I just had a revelation in the last week that I'm a seed planter. My job is not to reap the harvest. My job is to plant the seed, to give a foundation so that the next step can happen. And sometimes I don't get to be a part of the next step. And it hurts when I see something, or I can dream and see the next step, and I can envision how it should be, and nobody else seems excited. Nobody else wants to do it, and it just lies on rocky soil, and nothing takes hold. But I actually think I can remember how many times I've said, this is going to happen. We have to be careful. Take care of this. It's going to end up bad. People are going to get hurt. We need to work through this. We need to deal with the conflict now before it becomes a mess. And I get in trouble, and I get yelled at, and I get told I'm stuck in the old ways. I'm stuck in the past, and I'm not. I am a dreamer by creation. God created me to be a dreamer. And when somebody says to you, you're stuck in the past, and literally one of your strengths is dreaming and thinking 5, 10, 15 years down the road, it hurts. But I'm realizing I did plant a seed in those stories. And it sometimes took 3, 5, 10 years before somebody else saw it. And I'm not always going to be received well. I'm not always going to be appreciated for the things that I say and the things that I do. And I have to learn to be okay with that. I need to speak clearly. I need to speak wisely, not emotionally. So I don't know how many of you out there are prayer warriors. I can't say that I am. I wish I was. But maybe that's my goal right now, is to be in deep prayer over what God is asking me to do in these situations. So those of you who are prayer warriors, pray your heart out. Those of you who are not, who feel like prayer is uncomfortable or a waste of time, for those of you who don't even believe in God and for some reason, why am I even watching this video? I've known who Jesus is since I was a little child. I was raised in a Christian home. I've known who Jesus is my whole life. I've loved him as long as I can remember. I'm blessed in that way. I didn't have to go through the dark to find Jesus. He was with me from the beginning. But I certainly don't have it all figured out yet. And I don't think God will ever expect us to either. But when he puts something in front of you that says, hey, you're not doing this well. I know that if you could do this well, you would be blessed beyond measure. God already knows all of the plans for me. He's laid out my life, and he knows exactly where I'm going to go. And I can't change his will. But now is the time. This is I don't know. I probably will have to do some editing on this video. But my hope is that when you are feeling completely and utterly frustrated, you can know what God's agenda is, that it can be made clear to you, and that through prayer, you're not using it as a genie in a bottle to get your way, but instead you're using it as a way to open up your heart, to be willing to feel the emotions. And sometimes I think God knows we need prayer. He doesn't need prayer. God doesn't need prayer to be who he is. God knows we need prayer because if we truly open up our hearts, we will be able to heal through it. And if we can truly pray deeply to him about the innermost hurts, he knows we'll heal. He doesn't need a relationship with us. He wants it, but he doesn't need it. He knows we need it. So he gave us this gift of prayer. He's wanting us to say, Lord, what's your agenda? Lord, what is your agenda? He has given us prayer as a gift. Would you refuse a gift if somebody walked up to you and said, hey, I have a gift for you? And you're like, I don't even know who you are. What are you talking about? I have a gift for you. You'd be a little apprehensive because you don't know this person. But if they just said, I have a $100 Amazon gift card and I want to bless you, it would feel a little weird, right? You'd be like, I don't know you. Why are you doing this? Like, is this a scam? Like, we'd be very apprehensive because people don't do that, right? They don't just give you things without wanting something in return if you don't know them. God knows each and every one of us. Not every one of us knows God. But he's giving us a gift. He's giving us an Amazon gift card because he knows we need it. What if you had to go and get groceries for your family? You had no money in your bank account. Your kids are hungry. You know you need something in your house to feed them. And you go to the grocery store and you look at all the things you truly need. Bread and peanut butter, just to make enough so that your kids can put something in their stomach, and you can't afford it. And you look at that bread and peanut butter and you know that's what you need. but you have no way to get it. So you go home, and on your way home, somebody pulls over and says, "Hey, I have a gift for you." And you think, "Who are you? I don't know you. You're being crazy. You're going to try to scam me. You're going to try and hurt me. You're going to do something that's not okay, and I better just keep going." And the person gets out of the car, and they say, "No, wait, no, I really do have a gift for you." And you say, "Ah," and your car and start walking past it, and they say, "Stop, please. I want to give you a gift card to Walmart, $100 gift card. Would you take it? If you were that desperate, would you take it?" I think I would. Risk and all, if I could do a $100 gift card to buy groceries for my family if I had no way to do it, I think I would. And I would be confused, and I'd be like, "I don't know you. I don't know you. Why are you doing this nice thing?" And that person said to you, "I love you. But I don't know you. I don't know who you are. Why would you do this? You don't owe me anything." That person, "It doesn't matter. I love you." I think that's what God is doing for us in prayer. We need something deeply. Each one of us has something that's broken in our heart. Something we crave. We crave something so deeply. Some of us don't even know what that piece is, and it's the point where it's affecting every part of our lives. It's affecting our physical health, our relationship, our finances, our ability to be present, and it's deeply, deeply hurting us. God is asking, "Hey, do you want this gift card? It'll fill the hole. It'll take care of that need." And I think it starts with prayer. And he says, you are craving something so deeply. You need something so badly. Are you really going to walk away from this gift? Are you really going to walk away and say, "Nope, fine. I can do it fine. I'll keep going through this the way I have been"? Thoughts for Monday. Anyway, so I hope you have a good week, and I can post some more videos of just fun things that we do on the farm and progress being made. But my hope is personally to convict myself. But prayer is a gift from God, and He knows we need it. He doesn't need it. God does not need prayer in order to know our hearts. He gave it to us because He knew we needed to talk to Him. So we should use it. Hopefully this week you'll be able to pray. Some of you, this is your normal routine. Some of you have never done it, or it's been years because you've been hurt so deeply. I think let's pray. I'm going to pray with you today. Dear Lord, I don't know who's listening to this video. It might be the day I post this. It might be years from now. But Lord, I just pray that this video will touch one life, to bring them closer to you and bring them one step closer to healing, so that their light can shine bright, so they can love others well, and so they can love you, Lord. My hope is that their roots will go deep in your word, and that they can reap the harvest, Lord. That they can be in your will, and they can listen, and through prayer, they are able to work through to the next step. Maybe, Lord, their garden is a mess, and there's weeds everywhere. They can't even see the soil, Lord. Let prayer, Lord, be the first step of pulling out one of the first weeds. Give them the tools they need and the energy they need to continue to pull out the weeds one at a time. Sometimes the garden is such a mess, Lord, and we can't pull it all at once, but we can start. My hope is that somebody who's been hurt by the church, who's been hurt by family or a friend or a spouse or a sibling, Lord, that prayer can open up a door for them and open a door of healing so they can pray and deeply, Lord, just let them pour out their hearts to you, unguarded and unwavering. Truly let them open up their hearts so that they can share what they want, what they need. We love you, Lord. We know we have sinned and messed up in many ways. Allow us to pray to you and not use prayer as a magic potion to get our way, but to have a relationship with you and give us what we need, Lord, but also help us know what we need to let go of, what we need to change, so that way we can be how you created us to be. We love you, Jesus. Amen.